All right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the EOL, and today we're going to be seeing the Team Guardians Lambda against Phoenix. Now, previously we've seen these teams go up against each other, of course, multiple times. And the maps today that we've got are Oregon and Villa, and previously both times these maps have been played, it has been a very close score. Of course, the last Oregon game they had being 8-7, as well as Villa, both being 8-7, which is really interesting because it seems like both of these teams are very close in terms of skill. So we'll see how this has to go today, and we will get into the games very shortly.
Hi, I'm Uncooked, by the way. And then that guy that just spoke to you is excellent. I don't know, he didn't actually introduce himself, but yeah, we're here. We're going to do some EOL, and also we do have some rather standard maps as those first two, but then we do have our decider of Bank, which, if it goes there, that should be a very interesting game.
Hey, I do agree with you. My bad there. I completely forgot to say who I was, which
And who I was.
You know, who cares?
Who cares? Exactly.
Who cares about us? Everyone cares more about the game that is about to happen.
The entire game.
Yeah, you're only going to be hearing us for the next, potentially 3 hours, I think. Yeah. I'm not too sure, but anyway, so we will get into this match shortly. A quick prediction. Who do you think is going to take map number 1?
Map number 1, I genuinely do not know. Because obviously, like you mentioned, it was very close the last time they played 8-7. And I don't know the ins and outs, the specifics of that map. Which means that there could have been stuff going on. There could have been a lot of clutches from one team. Or we just don't know the overall situation that happened in that game. All we know is the final scoreline, and obviously results-based analysis isn't generally a good way to go about things. Overall, though, looking at their performances for the entire stage, you do get to build up a bit of a bigger picture. It's actually Team Guardians Lambda, which finished 9 points ahead of Phoenix. So they were 5th and 6th, but there was a fairly big difference, especially also in the round differentials. Team Guardians Lambda had a plus 26, whereas Phoenix only had plus 8. So while they're still in the positive, Guardians Lambda throughout the entire season have looked like the better team from their results.
I am going to have to agree with you there. Just overall, they did play better in all of their games combined. Of course, they ended up, like you said, 9 points ahead. And purely going off that information that we have, I'm going to have to go with them. But of course, different players, potentially different strategies. It's a different day, it's a new day. They could play a lot better, they could play a lot worse. So our prediction doesn't really matter in the long run, as, like I've said, they could play a lot better than we expect.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's time for speculation to be finished and for actual hard playing to begin. So, Team Guardians Lambda versus Phoenix on Snoregan. Team Guardians, they're going to be starting on the defensive side.
Oregon indeed. If you don't know anyone in the stream, no caster ever likes Oregon. It is just an extremely boring map. It's constantly repeated, especially in this level of play. But enough of that. Moving into the ban phase, I think it's going to be very standard. Of course, Flores especially, he's particularly strong for the basement site, of course, if you're trying to hold on to blue. And I'm expecting a Thatcher ban. I think
Yeah.
that's customary, yeah. And there he is.
There we go. Well, we were kept guessing a little bit because usually Thatcher is that first ban that comes through, but honestly, in my opinion, there's not much need to ban Thatcher. Teams already have to play around not having that operator anyway. And you see, they're still going to have operators like a Twitch. They're still going to have frag grenades, flash grenades. They're still going to have so much utility to get rid of these positions anyway. If you do have a Thatcher, it doesn't really gain you much time, and you can utilize those bans so much better, such as banning a Thinker, for example, or even there's so much you could ban a Twitch. You could ban, heck, you could even ban some of the more interesting ones, like you could ban one of the hard breaches, like Ace, Thermite, Hibana, or even Maverick, all of which I think would be a lot more disruptive than the Thatcher ban would be.
Yeah, overall I do agree with you there, because of course teams don't really practice with Thatcher in play, because like you've said, he's never in play.
Yeah.
So they'll never be prepared for it, but I guess if he is there, they can start to utilize him. But overall, I do agree with you there. I think the best ban they can probably get is either the Hibana or the Maverick, of course. Maverick, especially strong
Especially
for...
on Oregon, yeah.
Yeah, and especially the top floor as well, because an attic push is usually what we see. So banning him out's good, and then obviously Hibana, she's so versatile. She can open hatches, walls, and whatever. Since her rework, over a year and a half ago now, she's just become a dominant hard breach.
I refuse to believe that was that long ago.
Yeah, I agree. Honestly, you remember when Fuse got changed to with the whole hard breach? He can place the Fuse charge on hard walls.
Yeah.
That was over a year ago, I believe.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. That was a really recent change. That was like 3 months ago or 6 months ago. That was definitely not over a year ago.
I don't think it... I think it was...
That came through, like, with the coastline rework.
I don't even remember when that was. I took so long of a break that I forgot. Anyway, moving back into the game. We're going to be seeing an early push coming in from Pluto, and I do believe D-Lord as well, as they're going to be moving their way through Small Tower. It seems like a full team rush, actually, as they're just going to be taking control of Small Tower and moving their way across. Of course, we do have Alytics now holding with the mute. Of course, SMG-11 is not really good at long range, but that's why he's playing close to the door, and he's got his shotgun as secondary as well, in case he needs to take those close range fights. He's going to get cooked and he finds his mark.
Look at that. Absolutely beautiful, and the Aruni's position upstairs is noted as well. Damien is going to have to try and pull back a little bit for fear of getting caught out. Speaking of getting caught out, that's Alytics getting caught out by Pluto. The hatch drop is being prepped, just punched out. Pluto with that free fire, I think Damien will be aware you're going to have to try and get yourself back down to the site, because there's already a massive deficit down on the bottom floor. If this team just ignore the roaming player and just go for a full site push, then they're going to be 5 versus 2 on the site. But Demi is going to be taking this fight with Damien. Slow reactions from both players there, as they just sort of stare at each other from the face a little bit. Reload comes through, possibly poorly timed, but Yana not quite going to aggress that much.
Yeah, and he's stuck upstairs.
Oh, no.
I don't really know what Damien can do here. He's just trying to hold off and waste some time, but Spray's going to come in onto the Iana clone. They know where he is now. Can he at least find one? Yes, he does. He's going to go for the swing, waiting for the push to come for the second, and he finds him as well. That's a ninja. Something that they shouldn't really let happen. Of course, there are soft walls everywhere that they could have played advantage of, and it seems like a bunch of misplays coming in there. Demi with the whiffs initially, and then both of them just going for wide swings, not even covering each other. As now, well, it seemed like it was a dominant round, and now it's slowly falling into the side of Guardians Lambda.
Yeah, and finally he's going to be shut down. That's Deathlord, but you know, those players, they just kept pushing and kept paying attention to this top floor. And look how much time it's wasted. There's only 40 seconds left, which is still a decent amount of time, which what they were able to get done. But it could have been a minute and a half in practically the same situation, except they have a even bigger man advantage going into these final moments of the round. 25 seconds left to go, though, as Goyo's utility, those Vulcan canisters, start to get burnt, and now they do burn for a lot longer, about 20 seconds, I do believe. which means that Freezer is essentially going to be unpassable for the entirety of this time. Pluto is going to have to try and make a play, and the revive not quite coming through, and now it's 2 versus 2 on the site. There's only 5 seconds left. Deathlord is going to have to try and get this cover, but Bay is there instead. Is the plant going to get stuck? Bay, I think he's aware, and yes, he is. 2 wonderful kills with the SMG-12 to lock off the round, and a round that really should have gone to Phoenix. Guardians Lambda just able to pull it back.
Yeah, it seems like just a bunch of misplays coming in from Phoenix there. They had such a good opening start to the round, and then they let one player get the better of them. Wasted so much time, and managed to find 2 of them, which isn't really what you want to see. And by that time, they only had 40 seconds left, and, I mean, they couldn't really do anything. Obviously, we had to see the Thinker do something, and pushing through the fire may not have been the correct play. Could have waited a bit longer, but we'll never know how that round could have gone any differently. Anyway, moving on to the second round now, of course. Guardians Lambda going to the other primary site, being the top 4. And I'm really wondering how we're going to see Phoenix try and overcome this. Of course, you've got the Maverick to probably go to Attic and get that open, as well as Ace to go to main wall. So it seems like it's probably going to be a really generic push.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I was just trying to find the statistics on Goyo's shield, not shield replacements anymore, those hot pockets, and I just went to the Liquipedia page. It hasn't even been updated. It still says he has 2 Vulcan shields, so yeah, that's not very helpful. But either way, I've lost my train of thought now. You continue. You go on.
All right. Okay, so early round, we're going to be seeing them, of course, take control of Master Bedroom, which is extremely customary. I don't think you'll ever see a round where this isn't taken, especially if they are trying to hold on and play up from Trophy. Yes, Bray's going to come out. Sense is going to lose half of his HP. Losing a bit his senses as well, as it seems. Like Grade's going to come out. Going to find absolutely nothing. Doesn't seem, but an awful joke from me. Yeah,
that was atrocious. Actually, that was terrible. Well, tell you what wasn't terrible was Pluto's kill there onto Sense, and that is going to be again an early round advantage for Phoenix. But I mean, it didn't work out well this time. You can see Bay is just going to maybe tease his utility. Actually, just going to try and wait for this breach to come through, but it hasn't come through quite yet. And here we can see, like you mentioned before, that Maverick on the Attic wall just going to start opening up some lines of sight and an entry into that area of the building. Now, still half the round left to go, and Pluto, they've hit a bit of a wall here, no pun intended, as it's just trying to get this ingress in towards the site more. There is some overwatch from, I think, that striker over on the rappel, but again, it's just nothing's really happening right now. You've got to try and do something, because like we saw before, the time will start to dwindle. ADS catching out the right, okay, ADS catching out everything. No go, those are the ADSs down, but you've still not got the shields. This is laughable from Phoenix at this point. How long it's going to be spent trying to clear this shield, and the Bandit will put more of those batteries down. Again, Phoenix, they're stalling out him big time.
It seems like just a misplay after misplay from Phoenix.
It really is.
They're letting Guardians get the better of them when Guardians aren't even really doing anything.
They're just sitting there.
They're fighting demons in their own head, it seems, and they're just falling. Like, their entire attack plan is falling apart. Of course, yes, they may be taking control of Attic now, but look at the time. There's 35 seconds left. They've not even begun to push in.
It's taken a minute.
It's taken a full minute to try to do anything. The drones are finally coming in. Spray's coming in. Of course, yes, Guardians may have the disadvantage with the man count, but I still think that's going to be enough. And I still think they're probably going to win the round. A grenade's going to come in. Not going to find its mark, but 20 seconds, time's dwindling down. Now the second grenade's going to follow, but this one does find its mark. They're going to push the way through Attic in this last second attempt. Push, but Pluto's going to find one, making it a 2 versus 5. Making it a 1 versus 5, and it's all on this last player. A round that they shouldn't really be winning. But it just seems like Guardians aren't really winning their gunfights, and the plant's going to go down. 3 seconds left. He's going to have to go for this retake now. They know where he is, of course, with these hairless sprays that are going out. He's just trying to find the head of anyone, and not to be found just yet. 35 seconds. What will he make of it? He manages to find one. He's going to have to push his way up the white stairs.
Yeah, C4 comes out as well. Not quite. Oh no, I didn't think that was close enough, but Milkfly just not quite far away from that C4. to avoid any damage. Spray's going to come through as well. Demi goes down. It's now been made to a 1 versus 2, but there is just no time, and there's no health for Damien either, as Pluto makes his way up those white stairs. Finishes it out. There we go. Nicely done from Phoenix. They actually get around on the board now. Yeah, Guardians Alpha, like, this round, these 2 rounds so far have just been characterized by the mistakes of the teams. We haven't really seen a team doing a good play as much as it is a team doing a less bad play than the other one.
I've got to say there, I mean,
that's really harsh, but, like...
It's true.
Yeah.
I'm going to agree with you.
I'm not going to mince my words.
I do think it was just really... I'd say Guardians, like, they weren't really playing together there. It seemed like they were all just individually playing on their own. Obviously, yes, they may have been 1 man down already, but no one was holding any sort of cross angle or protecting a teammate if they went down. There was no refrags there. They just let them walk into the site. It seemed like the angles that were being held were just lost. Of course, yes, it was a 3 versus 5 at that point, but they should have been able to pick up 1, maybe even 2 kills there before going down themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Leaving it to a 1 versus 5. I mean, to be fair, Damien did do very well in that situation to get the kills that he did, but in that 1 versus 5, you really want to be seeing more from the team, because if a player wins a 1 versus 5, you know, that's great. Well done to the player. How did it get there? That's the main question, and quite often than not, it is because the rest of the team played poorly and they were just saved, and well, we're going to see a bit of a different strategy coming out now. We've got a Gridlock, we have a Capitao, and we have a Ying. 3 operators that you rarely saw before Attacker Repick just because of how niche and specific they are. But here we go. The Attacker Repick has allowed them to fine-tune their attacker loadout to this. And it looks like it's going to be a rush coming through. The tracks come in, the Candelas come in as well, as Sense is just going to try and free-fire. And actually, I think Demi was felled, and that's going to fuse her down. It's all falling apart for Phoenix, as they only have 2 players left alive. Look at the HP on Deathlord as well, only just clinging to life, as the shotgun is actually going to down Milkfike, and now it's only Deathlord on his own in small tower to try and push in against 4 different players from Guardians Lambda.
2 minutes, yeah, only a minute has depleted so far. The rush just completely fell apart. We knew it was coming from our point of view, and that is not how I expected it to go. It seems like they had no idea what defense was waiting for them, and of course, I don't really know what the thinker McVay there was going for. He went for the plant on his own with no cover. Of course, yes, it's good to get it down, but even if he did get it down, I mean, there's no one there to protect it and get the kills. Well, to really stop anything, so they would have got the defuse regardless anyway. We're seeing Deatlord now playing in this shower corridor, but there is a player above near that main window looking down through the holes like a crow waiting for its prey. It's not really a crow, it's more of a vulture. But anyway, 1 minute and 15 seconds left.
That's implying that Deatlord's already dead, which, I mean, actually, to be fair, that's justified.
Yeah, he's on about 2 HP. I don't really think much is going to happen this round. And I'm saying already, this round is most likely going to be going to Team Guardians Lambda. It was a valiant attempt to go in for that rush, but nothing was made from it.
Yeah, absolutely, and well, Deatlord, I mean, 1 versus 4 is never likely, let alone in this situation with this amount of HP. I mean, if this is a Phoenix round, something catastrophic must happen, because this is like in a pandemic worst nightmare. You could breathe on Deatlord and he's going to die. 30 seconds left now. It's just a bit more of an opportunity to Phoenix to talk amongst themselves, try and figure out what went wrong so that they can fix these things for future attacks. And these White Stairs area is being watched as well. I'm not entirely sure who by. I think that might be the Bandit of Bay sitting up there at the top, but Deatlord just watching these angles. There's only 10 seconds. Has to try and go for the swing, but Sens is watching through the floor. And there we go. Guardians, they get their second round in a much more convincing fashion than the first. I'll say that much.
Even, yes, it was a lot more convincing than previous rounds we've seen. I think it's all of these rounds have come down to a weird play or just something bizarre that's happened. Of course, the failed rush being at that time, and of course, well, we saw that did not work out in any way, shape, or form from them. But like I said, it was a decent attempt. They're trying to be different. They're not doing anything that we'd see a default team going for. Their aggression is seemed to be matched by, well, the same sort of aggression as the common saying is, fight fire with fire. As you're just seeing, well, Guardians are just doing it better so far.
Is that why they brought the Capitao instead of the Goyo?
Maybe. Yeah, it's just. I'm really confused. Both of these teams are really interesting. Of course, like we've said in the just before we got into the game itself, both of these teams were really close together on the scoreboard last season, with of course 9 points being the difference. But yes, they were just one spot below each other.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm really confused because I was expecting it to be more coordinated, structured siege, but no, it's just gunfight after gunfight, weird play after weird play, and I think that's what we're going to be seeing on every
Well, they
single
were
match
fifth to
today.
sixth in the minor league or the minor division, so take that for what you will. Not particularly the cream of the crop inside of EOL. Obviously, to get here is still a good achievement. They do still have to be proud of that, and we do have to give them credit for it. But they're not quite the top dogs, so it's a bit more of a scrappy brawl than one of those polished WWE extra produced scripted like waffle fests. Either way though, this top floor push is going to come in. The drop not quite caught out. That's going to be Damien able to go through and actually take down Pluto, so Ragdoll just goes down the hatch in the same way the Valkyrie did, just a bit more face first. There we go, 1 minute is now off the clock and one Phoenix player is off the board. Right now, they're going to have to try and counteract this because it's a Finker gone as well, which isn't ideal. How much did Chills still have 3 boosts?
Oh, they've got to go for another C4. They felt a bit lucky after the first one, but no, this one isn't going to find anything just yet. Sense though.
Cybertruck Hollow cringe.
Oh, playing inside a classroom, however, with yes, the very cringe site Cybertruck Elon Musk Twitter. Anyway, he's going to be playing.
Right, Solo Cast from Excellent. Now, see you guys later. Bye.
Okie doke. Right,
I'm joking.
Oh, he's going to be playing on the Z, and of course these pings are coming out from the Valcam, which they haven't seemed to find just yet. Of course, we know the location of it. It's just tucked away in that corner, but he's going to get out of there, as it seems they may know where he is as well. But 1 minute and 10 seconds, they have one pick early on, of course. And it seems one thing I like about this team is, well, not necessarily. We see it always, they have one roamer on that top 4, and they've never managed to pick him off, which is... It's not good for them. Of course, yes, there was the support below as well, in case they went for that sort of push, again, like we saw in the very first round, but it's just something that they really need to take advantage of. They need to understand that this is happening. They need to find the pick on him, because they had yellow pings and everything, and they let him drop the hatch, and as well as get that C4 pick.
Yeah, absolutely, and the amount of time that it's been wasting as well. All of these players have been down on the basement for about 30 seconds now, and we're only just seeing the pressure of being applied by Phoenix, which means the defenders have had so much time to fortify themselves, and also the clock, as it ticks down, the round goes more and more into the advantage of the defenders, and this will help it even more. Damien, second pick of the round, takes down Deetlord, as now... Phoenix, they've got to try and do something here. Only 10 seconds left. Flashbangs come through, but the Nomad is down. Grenade. Will it actually find a player? Demi is going to fight that with his gun as well. Takes down another, but hidden behind the washing machine. The striker has to try and push himself through. The Go-Yo fires, and it's not going to be able to be anything as the timer will run down. And it's a very sloppy round on the basement again, but Guardians Lambda, they get it done for the second time in a row, and I think that's going to be the timeout called from Phoenix.
I'll say, it seems like Phoenix are stuck in this 30, like, you know, the 30-second meta where you have to push.
Yeah.
It's the final push coming in at the very last second, which I don't really think a lot of the time is necessary, because they waste so much time trying to clear out roamers or do whatever they're doing, and a lot of the time the roamers aren't even there. They waste way too much time, it seems, and especially, like I've said earlier on in that round, trying to clear out that first player. They need people on a cross angle, because if you just sending all 5 men after the guy top 4, he's gonna have an escape route most likely, which that's been the case every single time. And it just seems like misplay after misplay from Phoenix, and they're really gonna have to pick it up. Of course, yes, that is why this timeout is here, so they can think together, they can get their heads together, brainstorm, and realize what they've done wrong, like you said in the rush round. But if they can't rectify anything they're doing wrong at the moment, I really don't think they're going to find any more rounds in this half.
It's going to be a struggle, and obviously if they do get these next 2, it will go up to 3-3, and Oregon is always a very interesting map because you do tend to get it's very different. Sometimes you'll see 5-1 halves for the side of the defenders. Sometimes you'll see 5-1 halves in the favour of the attackers. Sometimes it'll be 3-3. Sometimes it'll be 4-2 for either the defence or attack. It's just so different. It's so dependent on the teams that are playing, which means that you really don't know what you get until you get there. It does tend to be one of the more equal sides. I'm actually just gonna search up the statistics from stage 1. Let's see here. What should we just use? Let's use European League because that's local. So EUL view competition. Let's see. So the stats for Oregon is it's a 51% defensive win rate overall, and we are seeing this kitchen meeting site, which has a 42% defensive win rate. Obviously, this is tier 1, where attacks do tend to be a bit more coordinated as these teams are more close-knit. Because in these lower tiers, in these lower leagues, and especially even more in ranked, defense has a much higher advantage than it usually does. But either way, Oregon's still pretty level, still pretty equal, and this meeting hall kitchen site, again, pretty close to that 50-50.
Yeah, it does seem like that. Of course, with the statistics you just did read out, but with the aggression on Phoenix that we are seeing, I don't really... Well, of course, it's being matched. So,
yeah.
It's just... I feel like the Guardians are holding the better angles. They're playing better together.
They're playing smarter.
Yeah, they're playing a lot smarter, it seems, because... Well, Phoenix, they just seem to be a bit... They're just a scrappy team so far, it seems, and we are seeing now Pluto's going to be going for the spray at the player that he just did see at the top of White Stairs, not managing to find anything just yet. Of course, with the Aruna Gate in the way, they're going to have to dispose of that using some of the utility, as we see there. A flashbang has been used, but now they can start to traverse potentially inwards towards Games Room now, but they're going to have a lot of cross angles to look out for.
Yeah,
However,
absolutely. Oh, sorry, I thought you'd finished. My bad. But I just wanted to point out that we've seen the Ossa being picked, which I think is pretty good.
Yeah, we don't really see
it. It shows
Ossa
adaptation.
Yeah, which
the
I mean
has been working.
Yeah, that's what the timeout is for, and it seems like it is working so far. Damien, who's been the man of the hour so far, he's been taken off the board, which is giving me hope for Phoenix so far.
Yeah, absolutely, and on the tertiary site, it's the perfect place to try and get this back. But either way, still time is dwindling, and even though you might still see that there's a minute, well, Elytics is able to get the refrag, maybe a bit late, but still, it's now an equal man count. You do only have a minute left, so what was a fairly good time advantage is now getting more in favour of Guardians Lambda. As Phoenix, they are just stalling out again. They are droning, they have some intel, and they're just not doing anything with it apart from holding angles. I don't even know if they realise that they're on the attack at this point, because they just keep holding these angles, hoping that Guardians will just walk into them. You know, sometimes it does happen, absolutely, but a lot of the time, they're just going to hold angles back at you until they go, oh wait, there's 10 seconds. Oh, we have the diffuser? Oh, right, yeah, no, I forgot we're attacking. And there we go, that's a bit more like it. Striker taking down Sense. And now, the kitchen site is pretty much open. Obviously, they do have to be worried of the whites of the freezer stairs. And that's actually Bay, the smoke from all the way back in the meeting room to try and take that down. Water shield does come out, and that's a wonderful wallbang from Striker, as now it's 2 versus 2. The diffuser is not quite planted, and the smoke canister is able to take him down. Pluto now has to hold F, and the push will come through. Revenant C4 out. Now to be the kill in the round for Team Guardians Lambda. I nearly said Alpha there, Jesus Lord.
It seems like they are starting to adapt. We're starting to see a bit... They're playing a lot better than we've seen in previous rounds. However, I do think
the same problems persist.
Yeah, there are a lot of the same problems. Like you said, it seems like they're expecting to get pushed instead of being the ones that push, which is giving me hope for their defense. Because, of course, they have to push you. But, I mean, I think that tactical timeout, yes, it may have helped them rectify some issues, but I do think it came a little bit too late, as there's only 1 round left on their attack, and they are 4-1 down currently. However, don't lose hope just yet. As, like I've said, they may play a lot better on their defense. Who knows? I've not seen Guardians just yet. And
no, nor have I.
The way Guardians are playing at the moment, like we've said on multiple occasions, they are currently the better team in general as a whole. And I mean, the statistics prove that as well, as they do more often come out on top over Phoenix.
Yeah, absolutely. And This could be a bit more one-sided than we used to in for for this league at least, because well, obviously we saw it went to a lot of their games have been to overtime, especially Oregon most recently was 8-7 for Team Guardians Lambda, which means they've clearly put a lot of effort in onto this map. And Phoenix, I don't know whether it's been put to the back burner, but it definitely does not seem to be getting the same level of care as Team Guardians are giving it.
No, I have to agree with you there. It's just I just don't understand what their angle is at the moment. Anyway, we're going to be seeing Pluto now pushing its way onto the top floor window. Obviously, what that angle gives you, it sort of stops from a player playing in trophy early on, and of course it'll allow them to take master bedroom a little bit easier. Of course, with your sense though, oh, there is a barricade there. He was protecting it. He's fallen back now as he knows that he'd rather stay alive, rather help the team than be an early pick. For Guardians, of course, yes, they're 4-1 up, but they still don't want to be losing any rounds just yet.
Absolutely.
Now the drones are coming in. They're going to be taking control of the trophy anytime soon, and we are seeing. What was that gadget? Was that a deployable cam? I'm very confused.
Yeah, that's
a bullet.
Yeah, the bulletproof cams now have the EMP bursts. And that has actually taken the drone out of action for now. It's only one. They can still throw some other things in, but that will recharge sometime soon. They can use it again. Pluto, though, is able to take down Sense, and nice shot called in chat. We didn't quite see it, but from the angle he was holding, it does look to be pretty nice. Now it's just 1 minute, 30 seconds left to go. And again, it's this stall out. We've just seen... What do Phoenix have to show for half of the round? Well, a dead Pluto is one thing, as Damien on the flank downstairs, or maybe you could even call it a lurk more than a flank, able to take down the star fragger of Phoenix. So again, things not going very well. I don't think he'd used any of his boosts, or if he did, he had only used one. So that's some utility being wasted as well. I don't know how many grenades he had in pocket, but certainly didn't use all of them. So now he still had one grenade left in pocket, we can see at the top in the overlay.
And so now, oh wow. No. A minute left, 2 picks coming in, 1 pick inside, which is a bit more even, bringing it to a 3 versus 3. They have control of Attic for the most part. However, they're still stuck inside of trophy, which isn't what we like to see. It's just a repeat of previous rounds. The smoke wave's going to go out to obviously deny him pushing his way into sight so that Damien can stand strong on that shield angle. But time's dwindling, they're wasting the utility. Now try to get rid of that shield, and oh, it's going to get shot by the teammate, and they really need to think to push a different angle at this point. Maybe in a previous round they should have thought, maybe that's not going to work for us, and indeed it's not going to work. As
they don't have the intel.
Yeah, there's no intel, and there wasn't a flank drone anyway. Damien finds one, it's a 3 versus 1. Spray's going to come out with a bearing 9, but it's going to be Reverend to collect that pick with the SMG-11, and it's just... Phoenix were just falling apart, especially that attack.
I'm so
attacking
confused.
top floor. Attacking top floor especially is their weakest point. They go for the same trophy push. Yes, they take control of Attic, but there is nothing to make from it.
They even won a trophy round as well, but like on top floor, they won one of those attacks. But
indeed, like, and we saw them.
You wouldn't think it from that round 6, would you?
No, like we saw them like in that round. They had a heavy Attic presence to push into sight, but this time it wasn't there. Yes, you had Sledge in there, but it was the person playing the Bandit. I'd say he was the biggest detriment to that team.
Yeah. But my question is, if you throw the Selma at the shield and you can assumedly see the tracers from the games room, why do you still just stare at the shield and just forget about the player that's in the games room? Like, that's my biggest question, is where was the call out to say, oh, they've been shot? And they had Attic control. They knew it had been shot from the side, and they knew it couldn't have been the Attic side, so clearly the player must be in games. And yet, they still just don't even pay any attention to it on the push in the site from Attic. It doesn't make any sense to me. These defenses better show something, or my hope in Phoenix is lost.
Yeah, I have to fully agree with you there. And I just can't understand the way they're playing. It seems like there's no coordination there. There wasn't a drone to watch that potential flank that we saw, which, I mean, that is pretty much a necessity. Even if you're not even pushing from below, you need a drone there. And oh, here we are.
Brilliant.
Yeah, brilliant indeed. Elytic's going to be finding the first pick onto D-Ord, and already Phoenix in a disadvantage, of course. Oh, and a second one comes in as well. Pluto is falling.
Brilliant.
This is This is not brilliant. This is the opposite of brilliant. I know you said it sarcastically, but
It's brilliant for Guardians, to be fair.
true, it is. I mean, they're only 2 rounds away from closing this out, and I mean, if they keep up at this pace, it's already going to be done. A grenade's going to go out to try and pick off Demi, but Demi's going to be dropped the hatch, and they don't know about him. He finds one. Can they find the second one? Now they're playing close with a shotgun, playing their life. Going to go for the spray. Not going to be enough.
No. That is a tragedy there, and now Damien is watching this reverse angle on the hatch, and it's 2 versus 4 for the side of Phoenix. They can't get too aggressive, but at the same time, they can't play too passive. It's a paradox of different possibilities for Phoenix as they are just trying to survive this round 7 and not let Guardians get to match point, but that seems like the only possibility. It's a probability inside of Oregon right now. Here we go, half the round left to go. Phoenix, they've got to try and hold on. We are seeing a few of the same problems creep in of this time wasting, but at this point, you just want to be sure because there's only 2 players to look out for. If you can find both of them, that's easy pickings and you can get all the map control that you need.
One thing I like about Guardians as well, they're pushing from multiple angles to get cross angles to play off each other. And as we are seeing, he's managed to push all the way up top of White Stairs. No cams, no nothing, no sound calls potentially. And he's just going to be walking his way around like he owns the place. This is his domain, it seems to be. Of course, you have Striker playing in Trophy. But he's not managing to find the pick. He's whiffing his shots so far. But of course, now they know he's there. They know there is players in sight. And the Mute is going to have to play careful. The Striker's going to be losing a lot of his HP as we do see Mikavesh go down. And it's a 4 versus 1 plank going down. And what can they make of this? Of course, Striker is going to be going for the flank. I think this is already over at this point.
They should be aware. If they're not aware, this is terribly misplayed. I think they're just pinging out a drone because there's no player actually there. The reload is coming in from Damien, and he's not even looking the right way, able to get the kill anyway on that swing. Interesting. Yeah, just oh, I wonder if he's there. Oh, he is. Brilliant. Okay, I'll take that one, thank you. And now Guardians, they get up to match point, or map point even, and they look very set to take down Phoenix on... I don't actually know whose pick it is. I don't know how to read Mapban GG. Hold on. Let me try and find it. I think it might be Phoenix's pick. Production's checking.
Oh, no. So, this being Phoenix's pick as well.
That isn't great.
No.
Understatement of the year. That's not ideal.
Definitely. I mean, their map. And they're losing 6-1. It seems like... What strategy have they had so far? I can't really pinpoint. Yeah, it seems like their strategy is die, lose.
Throw the round. Yeah, because they've been getting off to good starts as well. Sometimes they've been finding these opening picks, and they just let it slip away from them every single time. Obviously, this time, it was just a complete slip-up from the beginning. 2 opening kills before they're even able to even think about getting a response.
I think that long
guys,
side...
pray for Phoenix. Pray for Phoenix. Yeah, that side did say
Yeah,
already,
that long side does just explain this entire game. I think, well, we're probably going to... Phoenix are probably sighing as much as you are. And I mean, look at this!
Oh my god!
Deep Lord, we've caught that on stream, buddy. You can't be missing that. Of course, drone economy is one of the most, like... It's something that you really have to lessen during a round, because it reduces the amount of intel that you can that the attackers can use. And well, missing your shots like that, well, it's just gonna keep that drone economy alive. And
yeah,
seems like I'll just misplay after I've said this 4 times. The amount of misplays we've seen from them. Even yes, it is whiffing a few shots, but that can be detrimental. That can be the difference between a round win and a round loss. They
can't afford a round loss either at this stage because, like we've said before, Guardians Lambda are on that point. Damien not quite quick enough on the trigger there. And that is going to be, I think, Deep Lord just getting away free. The swing does come through from Pluto, actually able to get that kill onto Elysics. It's the opening kill for Phoenix. The only player to go positive increases his kill count. Well, the only player to go positive on Phoenix, at least, able to increase his kill count inside the kitchen. A minute has gone by as they are redoing this top floor. I would have thought they'd try at least go for the basement, but no. Top floor seems to be the deciding factor inside of round 8 here. Pluto getting a bit more aggressive as Deep Lord is holding the angle inside the security as well. They need to be careful about this push from the white corridor though, because if they don't think about this, it could be round ender, and that would be map ender as well, really.
one thing I do like about Phoenix's defense so far is they are playing together, which we haven't seen at all.
Yeah,
We didn't,
that is lovely.
on their attack, we never saw that, which is really nice to see finally, and it seems like the same problems are persisting with both teams. Yeah, like, there's only a minute and 15 seconds left, and they are still holding on to the site with a man advantage. And one thing, again, that we're seeing Team Guardians mess up on is not managing to push out that one player, of course, being Pluto on the Jaeger stuck below in Kitchen.
Yeah.
What I would have done at this point, of course, I'm not playing in the game, but rotate to Big Tower, go through the hallway, and then pincer him.
Yeah.
Yes, this player's above as well, and there we have it. Damien is going to be getting a pick for Guardians now, and, well, no, another pick is found, and what seemed like would have been a Phoenix round all the way is slowly starting to fall apart.
The ADS should couch out that grenade. Actually, no, it doesn't. Demi is going to fall. Maybe perhaps had the same expectations as me. And now it's only Milkfly in the 1 versus 4 to try and keep Phoenix's hopes alive. And, well, those shots coming through from White definitely isn't going to make it any better. So he's just having to hold out inside the attic. Revan is inside of the films as well, but the pistol isn't quite able to get it done. And Bay, that also, the PDW9, able to shut it down, as that's GH in the chat. And that's a very convincing first map on their opponent's map pick for Team Guardians Lambda.
It seems like Guardians are slowly starting to, well, I don't even know what the word is, disassociate with everything at the moment. It seems like they're not really paying attention to everything. It seems like they're just playing on their own, like I've said. It's just they're not doing too great at the moment, and we will be moving on to map 2 very shortly.
Yeah, that's going to be Villa coming up for you in a bit, but for right now, we're just going to give the players a little bit of a break just to reset themselves and recalm themselves. And when we get back, like we say, it will be Villa and Team Guardians Lambda taking on Phoenix for Phoenix to try and stay alive. See you in a few.
destruction. Can't believe the damage I put you through. Realizing what I took for granted. Crazy to think I could deserve you. So I won't say what I don't mean no more, no more. This is me trying to come clean a bit more, bit more. If that means I'll be lonely, that's fine, that's fine. 'Cause when I'm yours again, I swear I'll do this right. Everything I said, all of my regret. Everything I did, we can't forget. But if there's a chance that it's not too late, tell you I don't care how long it takes. Give me time, give me space. Maybe I could be something better. Give me time, give me space. Maybe I could be something better. It's for you, it's for me. Maybe I could be someone better. Give me time, give me space. Maybe I could be something better. It's for you, it's for me. Maybe I could be something better. Meet me when I'm past transformation. Promise I'll be taller and someone you could trust, in someone you could put your faith in, even when the skies aren't clear. So I won't say what I don't mean no more, no more. This is me trying to come clean a bit more, bit more. If that means I'll be lonely, that's fine, that's fine. 'Cause when I'm yours again, I swear I'll do it right. Everything I said, all of my regrets. Everything I did, no, you can't forget. But if there's a chance that it's not too late, tell you I don't care how long it takes. Give me time, give me space. Maybe I could be something better. What was I looking for? What was I trying to do? Who was I trying to prove? Baby, I'm finally sure. This is me looking for you. This is me trying to do. Give me space, give me time. Maybe I could be someone better for you. Give me space, give me time. Maybe I could be someone better for you. Cover me in colors I can only see with you. I'd be better with another, but I always pick you. I try my best to fight it, can't deny it. Touches diamonds, and you're probably the reason that I'm so messed up too. I can't stop it, it's ugly but honest. Got me tripping for the way you say my name, say my name, say my name. Could count the ways you drive me so insane, but when you call I still fall back into your game. Play the game, play the game. Wrong can still be right. People wanna tell me all the time that someday my prince will come, but if this ain't love, then I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it. Hands are in my denim, but your heart's not with them. Tearing up the thought of all the pieces missing. And I try
Well, a map characterized by the mistakes from Phoenix inside of Oregon on map 1. Team Guardians Lambda, they took that 7-1. And we're going to head into Villa now inside this best of 3. And let's not waste any time. I'm Uncooked. Casting with me either on one of those two sides is excellent. And we look to be getting into Villa shortly. And yeah, like I said, very dominant from Guardians Lambda. And I'm going to stress this again on Phoenix's map pick.
Oh, and now we go to Guardians map pick, and considering it was a 7-1 on Oregon, I'm expecting potentially a 7-0. Of course, we have no idea. This could go either way. We could see domination from Phoenix on the opponent's map choice, but we'll just have to wait and see as we are now going into the match.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, yes.
What? Well, it's going to be a very default question. What are the bans?
Well, the bans. Thatcher.
Yeah,
It's probably going to be a ban.
Let's just
We're probably going to
Thatcher.
see a Flores, maybe. We could see a Twitch. We could see even a Finker if they get a little bit spicy, or a Hibana or Mute Ace. You know, or maybe even a Thermite, one of those hard breaches. Possibly Maverick is probably the more common of those. But yeah, that's sort of my pool of expectations. It's probably going to be Flores or Maverick, in my opinion. Or it was Hibana. There we go. That was my third choice, to be fair.
I think Hibana's quite an interesting choice. I mean, personally, I've never really seen her get played too often, but I know that she, like I said last game, she's a very versatile operator. And there it is, the very default mirror ban that I did discuss on my own earlier on during the break. It always happens in ranked, it always happens in, in competitive play. And the final ban coming is going to be the Mute, like you said, and I think Mute is still such a strong operator.
The funny thing is I didn't even mean to say Mute. I meant to say Ace. I don't know why I said Mute.
Well, you shouldn't have said that.
I got it right.
You should have said you meant to say that. Don't take credit away from yourself.
No, because I'm surprised. I'm in shock, basically.
All right. Anyway,
Okay,
moving
it's
into
fine.
the game.
We're doing great.
The first site they're going to be going for the defense on is going to be Trophy and Statuary, and we're seeing a very, I'd say, very default setup from the defense. Of course, you using that Kaid to keep the walls closed as long as you possibly can. We may be seeing some holes peeking into master bedroom as well, which is quite customary. It just depends on, well, how the defensive side want to play it, and at the moment it seems like they're not going to be doing that, which is going to give them less control to peek into master bedroom, but of course it works both ways.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm going to look at these operator selections. Mozzie being brought out from striker. Didn't see any of Mozzie in Oregon, I do believe. Well, we're going to see being played now, and I'm going to be honest, I'm not entirely sure whether you touched on the site pick, but it's not AVG, which we do tend to see as being the first site.
Yeah, I mean, I always consider this one to be the secondary site. I think most teams do as well.
Yeah.
So it's not really too much of a surprise that they're going to be picking this, and of course we are seeing now Damien as well as this Sledge Revan going to be going below, of course, to start to clear out any utility, of course, being the Kaid Claw, but they're going to have some contention from which as well, which they're going to have to really watch out for, because they've got the drones, they've got the Yana Replicator, which can be used whenever he wants. So they should be fine for the moment. Of course, now we're now seeing Damien going to go for the push, and he finds the first pick onto Deep Lord.
It's too
and
easy.
Here we go. Too easy for him. He's just winning his gunfights.
Yeah. Didn't even seem like there was much intel from the Valkyrie of Deep Lord. Just sort of thinking, I had a slight hunch, and then when it turned out to be right, it was too late to even react. His head was taken clean off his shoulders. Pardon me, excuse me. Well, 1 minute has gone, and sorry, you're gonna have to take over.
Okay, that's all right. So there's a minute and 40 seconds left on the clock, as you can see, if you have eyes. Well, I suppose that you all do, considering you're watching the stream, and oh wow, Bay finds the second pick for Team Guardians now, making it 3 versus 5. Of course, Phoenix once again in these disadvantages, which we do see quite often, and still 0 now. Bay on that upside down rappel not being taken care of. The grenade's going to be cooked by Revan. Will it find its mark? No, it won't, as he has 2 ADS devices at his disposal.
It's not going to get caught out though. It does take down the shield. not the player or any of the ADSs, but that is some good utility taken away. The second Toxic Babe canister is going to go to the top of those Astro stairs, and with my hiccups now gone, I can now accurately class this play-by-play, as it's actually going to be Revant to get that, to not get the kill, to get kills, though Bay with the refrag to the smoke grenade took down his comrade right in front of his eyes. He's going to be able to claim one back, and it's still a 2-man advantage for Team Guardians Lambda, as they're now looking to make their final push into the site within these last 40 seconds.
Yeah, no, we're going to see Damien just pushing his way through Astro. And of course, no defender on site at the moment. He's going to go for the spray, and he finds yet another pick. As we saw earlier on, he's just hitting heads, making it a 4 versus 1. The plant's going down, and it's all on Pluto to stop this. But Damien, once again, finds a beautiful headshot as the Jaeger just walks straight in front of his bullets. No contestation there. Very well played for Guardians, and it just seems like a masterclass from them in this first round.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's the same problems persist for Phoenix. We touched on it before. They're not getting these opening kills. They are just losing their gunfights to in situations they probably shouldn't even be in the first place. Like, you take a look at Demi took that drop on the hatch for some reason. Instead of pushing their way even back into the site, they decided to take the hatch and get exposed to the window, which surely you'd have the call that they're there, considering one of your teammates died to the player that was on the window. That was Bay on that 0. So again, like you say, the comms not quite the cleanest, and that seemed to be a problem on Oregon as well. So we need to see these being fixed sooner rather than later, because if Oregon's anything for show for it, Team Guardians will be punishing these mistakes, and they already have been.
Yeah, we've seen them just constantly feeding off of the mistakes of Phoenix that we have been seeing, and it's like that round reminded me quite heavily of the round on Oregon with the whole thing where we had the discussion about the bandit playing inside of games and with the bullet tracers, them not seeing them. That was heavily reminiscent of that round. Of course, with Demi, of course, seeing that teammate died from there and still managing to, well, die from there. It's just not something that the comms aren't clean. They're not working together. They're not giving call-outs, it seems. They might not even be using their cameras, which makes Deatlord a bit, futile if they're not doing that.
Well, yeah. Valkyrie is in play, which we didn't even see Valkyrie banned out on Oregon, and Villa and Oregon are two very, very strong maps for this operator. Obviously, she has had a slight nerf with the ability to operate outside of the building being taken away. And they still can work for 10 seconds, and they still are just... They're still very useful. To see her not be banned out, and it's the intel that's really punishing this. But there we go. Pluto is able to take down one, and Milfike is able to get one as well. Now, Team Guardians, they are the ones with the 2-man deficit, and Sens is just going to have to hightail it out of there. Get out and goodbye. Not going to take any chances, but Elytics is going to take out the swing on Pluto, and is going to push for more. Getting possibly a bit greedy as the pre-fires come in. And I think that's Deatlord on the other side, just trying to stay alive. There we go.
Beautiful shot coming in, but the refrag is going to be coming in. One thing that I do like, of course, is Phoenix is finally managing to work together, get cross angles in, but the fact it takes 3 of them to even accomplish that it's a bit troublesome for them. Of course, you can't really always rely on that over more than half of your team to find some picks in early on, but they have the advantage. 3 versus 2, but we have seen this before. We've seen them manage to mess this up, but I do have high hopes for them at the moment. Of course, no control of the map has been taken whatsoever by Guardians, and, well, there's only a minute left on the clock. It seems like they're going to be going for a ball push now, as the window shall be getting opened any second soon.
Yeah, just some early pressure onto this Wolf window now. Actually, not quite taking these shots. Nagon 6 will come out, but it's the Frost map to take down Sens. But it's the bait from Bay. However, it's not quite able to save his teammate. Now has to make another rotation. Probably going to try and push up these Astro stairs, where Demi will be waiting. There's still 40 seconds left of the round. And Bay, the vertical is being watched. Now only down to about 55 HP. Has to try and do something. The Toxic Babes do come out. Gonna have to try and run back through again, and does actually get it. It's just a game of ping pong right now for this 0. Again, pushing back up to this window, and oh no, just the animation not quite being able to take down Striker, as now Demi is coming in close left as well, and the crossfire, it's not going to be able to be won, and Phoenix, they take round 2, but this is the exact same pattern we saw in Oregon, with Phoenix taking the second round, and then it all just fell apart from here. We need to see them get that second round, especially in this half on Villa, considering they're defending.
It was a very nice early round for Phoenix, I must say, but as previously mentioned, they should be able to just do that with maybe 2 men. Having that third there, of course, is something to fall back on, but of course, it does leave sight a little bit more open. But they managed to win with that, they managed to find the picks, and it still seems, however, they are a bit clueless of the map awareness. As, of course, we did see that there's up here, Alytics walk his way up that hallway, but regardless of which, they've had a good round there, they've managed to finally, well, not finally, because it's a new map, they've managed to get around on the board, which, well, we didn't really, well, it is finally. Technically, if we're coming into consideration of the last map as well, it's probably been around 7 or 8 rounds since they last got a map to them. It seems like, oh, he's playing a little bit of hunt the drone, but he's going to be missing his shots. Was he the one who missed his last game as well on the Valkyrie?
It was.
D-Lord, you can't keep doing this. Of course he finds it this time, but at what cost?
About a mag of bullets, that's the cost. Well, yeah, we did see in Oregon, Guardians pick up round 1, Phoenix pick up round 2, and then Guardians ran away with it. Now, seeing Phoenix be on this defending side from the start, you would hope that they're able to at least get something going here, considering how much Villa has been this defender-sided map, even throughout the various meta changes, even throughout attacker repick. Even when things are just swaying so heavily to the attack, Villa has remained constant, it has remained defender-sided, and we need to see Phoenix taking advantage of that.
Yeah, I fully agree with you there. One thing I can't really fully agree with you, though, is the fact I think it's more of a attacker-sided map, if I'm being honest. I've always thought that. I don't know. I think there's too many angles for the attackers to hold, and long hallways for them to pressure as well, because, of course, attacker guns are, well, they're definitely better, but as proven here with Damien going for a swing onto Pluto, giving them an early advantage as they start to push towards Trophy and Statuary. There's still a player playing inside of there. He's going to go for the spray as well. Revan finds the second pick of the round, bringing them in a huge advantage now as they're starting to take control of the map. And half the round is gone, and they already have, I'd say, around 50% of the map upstairs anyway at their disposal.
Yeah, the problem with Villa is that it is such a big map. You even have that basement floor to contend with, where players can make these rotations where possibly your drones can't even see them. That is when these problems do start to arise. Deep Lord is still downstairs as well, just keeping an overwatch using these black eyes. And while the drones are trying to come through, is Alytics aware, because he is trying to push these main stairs area, and Deep Lord is just sneaking about. But yeah, it doesn't look like Guardians actually know of Deep Lord's position. However, it does leave it to a 5 versus 2 inside of the site, which means Guardians, they can just really easily swarm the site and get this kill, and now they are going to be aware of Deep Lord's position because of that C4 coming through. Obviously, it could have been a pre-place, but the likelihood is there's a player down there, and that is going to divert some attention away. It doesn't look like it's going to be too much, as Deep Lord is now upstairs in this study area, and Milkflag is just not really watching the window. The upside down rappel isn't known, and that is going to lead 3-man advantage for Guardians. If Phoenix are able to take this round, it would be absolutely catastrophic. So now this angle inside of the main stairs area is going to be held. 30 seconds is still a decent amount of time with this advantage, but Demi is able to bring it back just a little bit.
Now we're seeing, of course, Deatlord playing at the top of main stairs. I'm not sure if they know about his location, which may seem to be a bit troublesome for them, as Deatlord does manage to find one onto Revan, bringing it to a more even man count than we previously seen. The smoke wave goes out, it's doing some damage. It's going to have to force Bay to get off the defusal, but never mind, because the picks are just there. They're winning the gunfights, and it seems like that could have gone either way, but regardless of which, some beautiful picks coming in on the side of Guardians there as they take round number 3.
Yeah, it's a massive shame, because that could have been brought back, and that would have been possibly clutch of the season, in my eyes.
I can
From
fully
what I've
agree
seen,
with you
of
there.
course.
I feel like what Guardians sort of did wrong at the start was not knowing about Deatlord's position, but regardless of which, of course, they still managed to find him in the end, but losing a man count it made them a little bit shaky, but they stayed stoic throughout it all, managed to find both of the picks and stop Phoenix from taking the lead, which of course we haven't really seen yet. We've not seen them in the lead whatsoever in either
No,
of the games.
we haven't. They've only been losing or tying. So they're gonna redo AVG again, like they did with that trophy statue, and it did work out for them that time. They are just gonna try the same thing again. Sneak electrical placement, that is one to use for your ranked games. Actually, I have another sneaky one as well if our observer Dan could just, this is just a little tip from me. If you look at the B bomb chassis, there's a little bit of a gap between the bomb chassis and the bookcase. I like to throw it down in there because then it's even harder to see. Just throw it into that little crack, and it is really difficult for the attackers to find, although it is a bit easier naded out.
Can I just say, as a Cade main, I'm very happy with you there that you know about that spot. It's
I'm
beautiful.
I'm terrorizing gold Elo with that right now. I'm gonna be completely honest with you.
Oh,
I mean, I did
Elo.
just lose my most recent Villa game, but that's not the point.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no, it's not the point. Oh,
wow.
That's not ideal. That is a very nice wallbang.
And there he is. We're seeing Elytics come to collect that kill. The Grim Reaper has come to spray some LMG bullets into your face. He's going to be cooking a nade now. There is a player on 90.
God, no.
Oh no, if this manages to hit. Yes, it does. A beautiful grenade.
Brilliant.
Defeat Lord. Wow. Absolutely amazing play.
Absolutely
amazing knowledge. Unbelievable is an understatement. And already we're seeing Guardians in a massive advantage. It's the same as last round with a 5 versus 3.
Yeah, it's inconceivable that Phoenix can keep getting off to these such poor starts again and again and again. It's even slightly infuriating at this point because you know that they should be doing better than they are, and especially looking at their results last season, in this most recent season, it's ridiculous. I thought Athletic was able to get the spray there, and actually he still does, as Pluto is able to fall down inside a 90, and now there's only 2 players left for Phoenix. Milkfight is able to get a refrag though onto Revan, and now this could be the start of the retake, but no, as now it's 1 versus 4. Demi has to do it all on his lonesome. And Team Guardians, they are going to make sure that they do not lose this half, as they are going to go up to 3 rounds, obviously, unless something catastrophic does happen. We can see nades being prepped, we can see bullets coming through, and we can see the plant about to come through inside of the games room, inside of Aviator even, and it's Damien with the Overwatch, and that is going to be, like I mentioned, 3 rounds for Guardians Lambda. Wow, what a shot.
It just seems like they are just so good at getting opening picks. I don't think a single one of them will be negative with their entry stats, because, well, we hardly ever see them being the first ones to get picked, and even when they have been the first ones to die, they have always managed to pull it back, which is not what we have seen from Phoenix. And here we have it. Here's some little stats for you. No stats. Absolutely beautiful. Don't you just love when it just doesn't really work? How great.
Yeah, I love it.
We see the kills and the deaths, yes, but I mean, doesn't really come into account of what exactly we want to see, because we can see that regardless. Anyway, they're going to be going for this dining and kitchen site, which, personally, this is my favourite site on the map.
Really?
It is, yeah.
That's interesting.
I love to play castle on this site because I just have a really good extended hold. Which
I'm gonna be honest.
90% of the time.
I love to see Living Library. I mean, it's. I get why teams don't play it because it's an absolute anus to play. But I do love seeing when it is played, teams bringing out their own little quirky strats, because obviously it isn't played that much. Each team has something different to try and hold that site, and that's a really exciting bit for me. That's my color casting colors coming through. Didn't really think that one through before I said it, but yeah, I do really like to see. And well, Phoenix, they're going to hope that this is the better option for them, as they are running out of options.
Can I just say, one thing I really love about Guardians at the moment is the fact they keep bringing IQ. Because on this map, Pulse and Valkyrie are so prominent. We see them almost every single round, at least one of them. And with Damien here, he's sort of negates that. He's going to, well, reduce the chance of them getting C4'd from below. He's going to allow them to look for any Legion mines or, well, any sort of electronic utility, which is absolutely amazing. It seems like they're not going to be going for a top 4 push, of course, due to the fact that they're going to 100% be holding upstairs, which is a really smart play for them. It seems like they're going to be rushing the site, which is going to force the remaining defenders to potentially rush their way down in an attempt to reclaim.
Yeah, absolutely is. Well, we're still seeing equal 5-5. Nothing's really happened so far. This is possibly the slowest round we've seen. Just more of this intel being brought out by the IQ. Because we've got about half this round left and still nothing has been found. Deep Lord is upstairs with this Aruni. Got the Mark 14 EBR, trying to at least find something and deny this breach, which he is actually able to do. This position should now be known, I'd say, and it does look to be Elytics trying to get upstairs, trying to at least take down that Roma. Deep Lord is facing pressure from elsewhere as well. This could be a very dangerous position. The breach is staying close for now.
Wow, I really love where D-Lord is, but of course he's going to be now getting pressured from Elytics, playing on that Astro window, which is always a danger. And another thing that we usually have to... Whoa, never mind.
Never mind.
He's just going to drop carelessly, which is, I'd say, just an extremely stupid play. He could have pushed back to 90, he could have done anything else to keep himself alive, but no, he's going to go for a bit of a stupid play. C4's going to get... Oh my god, he was going to go for a C4.
The IQ coming in clutch there, oh my goodness.
This is what I said. Damien on this IQ, showing that he's activated his scanner, and the spray through the wall comes in. Sense is going to find another onto Pluto, and it's all falling apart once again. A 2 versus 5, they're going to be pushing their way towards the site. And all of a sudden, wow!
1 versus 2. It's 1 versus 1 even, as Demi is able to take down Revan. This is so very close, but he is having to come against the Finker LMG. And now, shotgun at close range could be massive. Elytics is able to close it out. That was definitely the closest round we've seen so far. And that just came out of nowhere. It looks like it could almost be a flawless round. But then Milkfly with 2 and Demi with 1. And able to get that second kill as well to bring it to that 1v1. But yeah, just not quite able to close it out. And Guardians are now on 4. They cannot lose this half on their attack on Villa.
I am in shock. If I'm being honest,
I
thought Guardians won that, and then I was like, is there a glitch? Why isn't the round ended? And then I looked at the scoreboard, and there was still players alive. I was like, what? They managed to find 3 picks so early on. I think that was a massive misplay from Guardians, playing a bit too aggressive there, which is... Ooh, they still managed to pick up the round, however, and they're still dominating, which obviously Phoenix haven't been able to capitalise on. But how can they capitalise on anything when they're in a 2 versus 5? It's just not feasible with the players. They always seem to be they're the ones to die first, which is not really helping out their situation in any way, shape, or form. And you know what else isn't helping? The fact that they're missing shots on the drone like that. Striker, of course, does pick it up, but even still, missing about 7 or 8 shots on that drone is not great. And can I just say quickly, another thing is, the IQ is always in play, and they have not managed to, well, pick him off or anything like that. And they're still deciding to pick players, operators like Legion, which is, in my eyes, a little bit stupid. Because, well, the likelihood that they're going to fall into a trap is, well, unlikely.
Ridiculously low. Yeah, you can't really bring... The only other trap operator that I would say you could feasibly bring would be the Frost. And we did see the Frost being that clinch pin for Phoenix. That's what essentially allowed them to win the round, because in the 2 versus 2, player wasn't watching for the Frost mat, and instead keeping gun up to try and take the swing in the gunfight. So it's interesting to see them not play the Frost, especially when they're on that same site that gave them success.
Yeah, it's really confusing, because, I don't know, yeah, like you said, Frost has been working for them, so why not continue to use that? And instead bring an operator that hasn't been working because of IQ. And I do have to give Phoenix some props here, because the drone economy at the moment for Guardians is exponentially low. They only have, I do believe, 5, potentially, but it's not going to matter if they can win the gunfights. Damien, however, is not managing to win that early gunfight. No picks have been found just yet. They know the Legion's location, of course, with that IQ scanner. He should be able to very simply get rid of the Goon Mine that has just been thrown down. And we're now seeing Revan push his way up to 90 as well. But first pick comes out for Phoenix. But the question comes, can they capitalise on this, or will it fall into the hands of Guardians?
Yeah, absolutely. The big question, can they hold on to this man advantage? Obviously, that is your thinker, that is your best fragger going down, which is never ideal. So this is ironically ideal for Phoenix to try and close this one out. However, Bay is able to get that refrag onto Pluto. For your Jaeger to go 1 and 4, or 1 and 6 even, isn't great. What is great is Deep Lord. Great C4 into Damien, and like you said, they need to be shutting Damien down, and that's exactly what they're doing. There's only 50 seconds left to go now.
And
The
well,
smoke canisters will come through. 3 versus 4, make that 2 versus 4. It's Demi. That's a lovely pick onto Revan on that reverse angle and taking the swing. Now Striker is pushing up these red stairs. Is location known? I don't think it is. The officer is just completely unaware. Does take that first gunfight, but might just be too focused on trying to secure the kill. Doesn't even notice. Can't get the plant down. Demi will be picked up and now sends in a 1 versus 4. Not quite able to get that first kill, and it's Deep Lord on the prone. They get 2 rounds. This is the best showing we've seen from them so far this series. They just have to try and hold on their attacking side, which on Villa, a bit harder than you might expect.
it seems like something that we've seen them so good with not allowing flanks to come in, but that time they managed to fall for it. And especially like we said, was it Bay on the Osa? I do think it was. Or just going for that pick, of course, yes. Picking the player off, but not being aware of your surroundings, not having a drone set up that your teammates can call out. And I think this loops back to what I said earlier in the round. Of course, not having a bad drone economy is not really the way you want to be going with only 5 drones left. By the end of the prep phase, I do think it was. And of course, that doesn't allow them to watch these flanks, and it allows plays like that to come in, which is very unfortunate. However, they are now on the defense with a 4-2 lead. And let's see what they can make of it.
Yeah, absolutely. What can they do with it? Well, we've mentioned the defense on Villa does tend to be the better side as long as you play your sites correctly and play your game. Which Phoenix, they didn't really do. I think they were trying to play into Phoenix a bit too much. Playing into Guardians a bit too much. But at the same time, we didn't really see them adapt. It's like, well, we think they're going to do this, so we're just going to try and counter this play and not really adapt to anything. Obviously, a couple of times it did work. You can see the 2 at the top of your screen. But a lot of the time, you're left wanting more. At least I am.
Yeah, I'm 100% the same with you there. Always wanting to see more, and, well, this is a bit of an interesting pick coming in. Striker playing the Nook, and of course, with the, like we have mentioned just a while ago, this map is so large that operators like Nook can really thrive. Going to be seeing him now start to crawl his way up towards main stairs, but of course, Nook's ability is no vigil, as you'll still be able to see glimpses potentially, but the first pick's going to come out for Pluto, playing the Thinker, trying to be what we saw of, who was it? It was, it was Elytics. It was Elytics
Yes,
always
yeah,
on that
Elytics.
Thinker, and he's trying to replicate that, but I mean, it seems like he's managing to so far as he takes down Damien.
Not Thinker.
Oh, wait, yeah.
Haha, sorry, I was trying to be what we call in the business slightly funny and slightly silly. It didn't really work out, but hey, that's just the way things go sometimes. And, well, Pluto is going to get taken down to some very low damage. And I thought Reverend was able to get away there, but no, not so. Is Striker going to pick up that, and now it's man advantage for Phoenix. They've got 2 people more than Guardians do, and going into the second half of the round, that's going to really play out massive. And I think Elytics has been spotted out on those red stairs as well, so just has to fall back to Memo, try and stay hidden and out of sight. The 90 cam will be going down as well. So yeah, good map control and good basis for where they are in this round.
It's very good for them, of course. Elytics no longer has that C4 as we saw it get used previously. And, well, with this 2-man early advantage, they're in a really good spot. Still a minute left, which is actually plenty of time for them to work with, but not droning out Bay. Oh, we lose Pluto, you lose Thinker and the ability to get healed. So, it seems like it is slowly starting to potentially fall in the favour of Guardians, but 50 seconds is still plenty of time for them to push. Seen D-Lord now just waiting to see if someone decides to peek him, of course, with the previous location we saw Bay at, but he is long gone. And it seems like now they're going to be going for a pincer. Players on multiple sides, which we didn't see them do in the first map on Oregon, which is a beautiful thing for them. They're starting to adapt on the second map, which, I mean, they really need. But time's dwindling, and it seems like the same mistake that we saw earlier on. They're not droning it. I don't know if they have any drones. It doesn't seem like they do, but of course we see. Wait, Demi has a drone in pocket, I think that means, but not decided to use it, which is extremely misplay, but Striker manages to find Bay, playing this Nook, sneaking his way in silently, but a refrag comes in by Analytics, the plant's going down, and 10 seconds left. They're gonna have to start to play a bit scrappy. Analytics finds one, but the plant seems like it's gonna be confirmed, leaving them in a 2 versus 2 post-plant situation.
Yeah, it should not be allowed to get back to this position. Obviously, they were 2 versus 5, and Striker is just going to be forced back by that Thunderbird, or maybe even by the smoke.
Oh.
Now, the defuse is coming through, and the grenade is not quite enough. Just too slow. I don't believe it. Guardians, they're able to. It's absolute theft. Excellent. I don't believe it.
Uncooked, what did we just see? I think that must have been a millisecond from that grenade finding the kill.
Yeah, I generally saw it explode, and I was like, "Oh no, the grenade is just in time." But no, it wasn't.
Words can't explain some of the endings to these rounds.
I'm lost for words.
This
I can't,
game,
bro.
It's so scrappy yet coordinated in points, and in other points it's all over the place. And that round particularly, it seemed like it was like a team deathmatch. The last 30 seconds, team deathmatch. They're just running in and finding picks. But a beautiful grenade. It was just a little bit mistimed. He could have done it a little bit earlier. He could have potentially won that round for his team. But however, we still are seeing them lead at 5-2, which, well, that's still really great for them. We're just going to have to see how it plays out from here.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and not the outcome of that round you wanted. Phoenix, they really let that one slip. What was it? 2 versus 5, I think, for Guardians, and they brought it back to 2 versus 2, and that clutch defuse just at the end there is honestly quite remarkable. We've seen so many good clutches this game, I think. Or at least we've seen so many nearly clutches. That one definitely does take the cake. But yeah. And now Phoenix, they're getting a bit impatient, I feel like. Really, well, I say impatient, 30 seconds has gone by, but they are just all rushing this closet. They've clearly droned it out. They're just they're trying to apply some quick pressure, and it's not really working out.
I think Phoenix they're just fed up of constantly, they're fed up of losing these rounds, and they're deciding, you know what, we've had enough of you, we're going to push our way in, we're going to force you out of your positions and pick you off. Of course, none of that's happened just yet, as they are already starting to slow down. It seems like as soon as they are contested by even a slither, a single player, they're deciding, yeah, let's take this a little bit slower. Of course, well, that's not what you have to do. You can just, push in with multiple men. Yes, you may lose a man, but a lot of the time, you will get the refrag, but Sense is going to be there to collect the first pick onto Pluto. And that's your Thinker lost once again. So the ability to heals is gone. Your frag grenades especially is gone, which of course he could have utilised potentially from below, or even just thrown it directly at that shield.
Still had 2 in pocket.
Yeah. A waste of utility, which is not what you like to see, and it seems like a repeat could be coming here. And Demi is playing relatively aggressive with this as well. Not sure about the player on red stairs. I know he wasn't. Well, he was, but it was a second too late. Revenant finds the second pick of the round.
Yeah, nearly does get that flick, but it's just not quite enough here. Revenant is going to stand fast and not stand fast anymore, has to hold back, and Deep Lord and Analytics actually gets that trade. For a second I thought it was a direct trade, but no, it wasn't. So Phoenix, they're still 2 versus 4. So Analytics is now taking up this mantle on these red stairs. He's aware of at least the possibility of the Striker there on the oh my god, my words are falling apart. I'm still in shock from that last round. I don't know if you can tell, but now it's 1 versus 3 for Striker, as Analytics is rotating back up those main stairs, has to try and collect the diffuser, but unfortunately he's forced to go the long way round. 35 seconds left. It's looking like match point even for Team Guardians Alpha.
He's in a very difficult situation. 25 seconds, doesn't even have the diffuser at the moment. The smoke babe's still in pocket, which is going to eat away at his HP, especially considering the shield was never depleted. The Jaeger radius is going to catch the first. Now he's waiting to catch the second, and it's going to be a Y-Man magnet, but it should still get rid of the shield, but no, it doesn't. And 11 seconds left, he's going to have to push his way in towards the site. The smoke babe just a little bit mistimed as he throws it at his own shield, but this round is all the way going to Team Guardians. Very unfortunate for Phoenix, of course, but it seems like their inability to get rid of that shield earlier on, their inability to utilise their what is the word? Their utility as well is not really great for them, especially considering it was a completely one-sided push and they made zero progress.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely not what you want to be seeing right now. That is for sure. Well, you get the sense that their mental is going to be absolutely crushed after they lost that 5 versus 2. And they're really just not able to get anything going. That was their one was their one chance, so to speak, and now that it's gone, they just can't grasp back at it. But this could be their next best shot, because Guardians, they are going to that tertiary site in the kitchen dining, and obviously tertiary sites, they don't always have the best defensive win rate, let's say, because again, 4-2 halves are very common, they are very expected, or at least they were. Again, with these new meta shifts, attacker repick, all of that good stuff, especially with the LMGs and nades as well, it's becoming a bit more nebulous, a bit more fluid, but in general, you're expected as defense to win your primary and your secondary, lose your tertiary. That's a pretty decent half for you. If you're able to win your tertiary, that's seen as, you know what, that's especially good, because then you can go through that same cycle when you're on your attack, and you can just pick up the game 7-5 or no 7-4 even.
Yeah, I mean, one thing we are realizing already is the constant use of IQ, as we are seeing Pluto pick up the mantle left by Damien since the attacker defender switch. And what I do really love this hold that they're going for here. I do believe they have holes as well from living room, I think, which. If I'm being honest, I've only ever seen one team potentially do this, and oh no, oh they do somewhat, yeah. The only other team I ever saw do this was a team called Shogunate, which I don't think are still active, but nevertheless, we're gonna see a C4 go out, not find its mark. It was a little bit of a misplay as the player was outside, but that has lost them one of their crucial C4s, which, I mean, they still have 3 more in pocket, which is still definitely viable for them, but. You know what else is viable? Yes.
That's pretty viable, I'd say.
Yeah, just a bit.
Yeah, just a bit indeed. Well, it's going to be just a lot of HP taken off Deep Lord, as he's actually going to go down from that C4, like we mentioned, from Damien, and Damien's able to pick up Pluto. Just not aware. IQ player versus IQ player, but Guardians, their one will be coming out on top. Half the round is now left to go. As Phoenix, they are now up against the wall. They are just they've stunted themselves so much here because of those 2 player losses. You have your sledge gone, so it's only your buck that can do this vertical, and your ace doesn't have breach charges. Your ace has claymores instead, and that's a whiff shot. And now it's just the push coming through. Revan able to pick up 1, not the second. Senses there with the refrag, and now it's just Striker 1 versus 4. What can you do, buddy? What can you do? You have to try and save Phoenix inside of this round. There's only 50 seconds, and they're still not sure about this vertical. Has to try and get something done. Just trying to check, and that's a lovely pick onto Damien. Now there's only 3 left to find, but it's still only 40 seconds. It is doable, but it's just so impossible, and it's now just a formality as Guardians, the Lambda, they take down Phoenix on Villa 7-2, and they take the full win here inside this series. They take it 2-0, only dropping 3 rounds. Excellent. If that's not dominant, I do not know what is.
I think that is just it's the personification of sheer dominance. It's just a masterclass from them on both maps we saw. Of course, Phoenix started to pick it up towards the second map, but again, it wasn't enough. Guardians playing just a lot better on the roles that they are assigned to, always having flank drones more often than not, and always finding these picks. They had better aim, better crosshair positioning, and I think that is the only way to go around it. A very, very nice series, but at the end of the day, Guardians absolutely taking it.
Yeah, Guardians, they can be pleased with that one. That is for sure. Well, yeah, I think we're going to have an interview coming up soon. Just going to toss to a quick break before then, but just before that, is there anything you want to say before we disappear for a couple minutes?
I think the one thing I do have to say there is it's to do with Phoenix, of course. if you're listening to me, which you most likely are,
Yeah.
I think you just need to take some time away. And I think the primary thing you're gonna have to work on there is, you can't really say to work on your aim. It is your droning. I think you need
Yeah.
flank drones in a lot of situations because flanks came in where they shouldn't have been able to. However, you did well. You tried, but at the end of the day, it was not enough.
Yeah. Well, there we go. Like I mentioned, quick break before the interview. So we'll see you in just a couple minutes, and we will have another player in the call with us.
Okay, see you then.
Yeah.
But you call me young boss. Eating real good, so a man's gon' floss. Got my way up in my view real posh. You a frisbee man, so that mean you get tossed. Bought a new crib, still EOL in the back. Numbers ran up, had to spit it with the chaps. Realest in the city, in my record, I fact that your man's only chat when he do it in the raps like squad go lost and don't really care what it cost them. You don't wanna cost them. My lifestyle awesome, couldn't decide if my gal wanted to, so I bought them. Don't run trap, but I run up a check. Run, do it real big, gotta one up the next. Point to the sky with the one up, I'm blessed. I'm young, rich and black, so you know I'm a threat.
All right. Hello, Bay. Congratulations on your win against Phoenix. It was a domination from you on both maps. Of course, 7-1 on Oregon, and then a 7-2 on Villa. So of course, now that you have progressed to the lower bracket round 3, your next opponent could potentially be either Emirates or Neverlast. Now, what are your thoughts on that match, and what could potentially be coming up next?
Of course, today was very fun. We did not had fun the last game. Next time is tomorrow, I think, where we could be playing against Neverlast, which we already know we can beat, so that shouldn't be that hard. And if it's Emery's, we also know we can beat them. So no matter what, we're gonna win next time.
That is always what we like to see. A very positive attitude going into it, of course. And I mean, it seems like if you've had that attitude throughout, it's been working for you. As well, we just saw such a clean sweep from yours. It seemed like hardly any contention from Phoenix, and where there was contention, you managed to snuff out their flame and send them right back to where they started. Of course, now they're knocked out, and you progress on. So, very well played from you there. Uncooked, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, I do. I just wanted to pick on, or just pick your brains a little bit. Obviously, I don't know how involved you are in the ban process, but were you expecting Oregon and Villa today? Did you expect something completely different?
Well, we did try to go for Villa because we looked at the last map, the last time they played it, to see what they did, and we felt we could counter them a lot on that. And Oregon is always a easy map to play because it's just default, so that wasn't that sad.
I think, I don't know if you agree with me, but everyone is sick of Oregon. I cannot deal with it any longer.
Well, yeah, it's a bit like basic sometimes, just like Clubhouse, but it's a nice go-to map to have just in the pocket.
It does seem like that is
Yeah.
the case because your team and you played extremely well on that map, of course, taking it 7-1. So, yeah, you are correct there. And I'd say as well, with the point you said about Clubhouse, I'd say Oregon and Clubhouse are two maps where you can't really divert too much from the default strats, and it's just, they're so well played. Like, they're just played all the time. So, yeah, you are correct there. Oh.
Yeah. Just what are your just overall thoughts on today's match? Just like maybe a bit more expanded on just it was a fun game. Do you have any like specific thoughts or feelings about how you guys played today?
Well, at the start we did did mess up a bit and did do some wrong strats like miscommunication and stuff, but we ended up winning either way, and there was a bit of a bit stuff that went wrong, but we adapted, and that's in the end what got us the win on both maps.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't have anything. I don't know if you do excellent. So just wanted to take this moment to say, the floor is now yours. Say whatever you want to say to maybe the people that might be watching, supporting, to your coaching staff, the other team, whatever you want to say. This is your floor. This is your space.
Shout out to Damien's family watching out there. Big fans. And drink holy energy. That's
Oh, there
you
it
know?
is. A cheeky little plug there.
That's what kept me going. That's why I played so good.
Listen to the man. Listen to the man. Finally, well, not finally, sorry, but do you have anything to say to the next team you're facing? Of course, you said earlier on you were like, you're gonna win, but is there a direct message you want to say to them?
Well, if it's nevertheless, you better learn from your mistakes, and hopefully we take them on again. I mean, of course we will, but they can try.
Oh, I love it. Extreme confidence.
Fighting words.
It is fighting words, and you're gonna go forth with that, and
100%.
hopefully continue to progress. All right, I do believe that may be it for us here. If you've not got anything else to say, Uncooked.
Nope.
No, that is all. So, congratulations on a domination there, and I cannot wait to see you come up very shortly, tomorrow, day after, whenever it is. I cannot wait to see your team play again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, there we go. Like we mentioned, it has been very, very strong from Guardians Lambda. That is, they obviously have the org support behind them. They obviously have that coaching staff support behind them, and it shows. Especially against a team like Phoenix, which, Guardians Lambda did beat them in the regular season, but it was a lot closer than we saw here, which means they are improving, especially as Guardians Lambda. Yes, they were 9 points ahead, but they were still pretty closely matched. I think it just came down to a lot more overtime games more than anything, which means, like we mentioned, Guardians Lambda, they've shown improvement. Phoenix not quite able to get it done. And I'm just going to check the dates. The lower bracket final is probably tomorrow, and tomorrow's stream as well is going to be the minor league winner brackets final, which is Team Nomad versus Titanium Esports Legacy.
Ooh.
Which is going to be a pretty good matchup. Those teams, obviously, they haven't lost in these playoffs yet because they are in the winners bracket. So this really is the deciding factor of this stage.
Yep, and well, with that, we obviously will see those teams compete in the next coming hours, days, whatever. But I do believe that is all from us today.
Yeah.
I have been excellent. I'm always excellent. And with wow, okay, and with Uncooked as well, who has shown some great shouting, and his throat is dead. He needs some time to rest it.
Yeah.
We will see you
I'm casting tomorrow
next
as well.
time. Oh no, you better be prepared.
Oh yeah, and flute playing as well. It's gonna be great. Not at the same time.
I'd be concerned.